Systems engineering today is recognized as an absolutely critical phase and part of design of complex products. Systems engineer, there's a concept of systems thinking that systems engineers tend to do very well. It's not a new concept. Every engineer has a little bit of systems thinking, and that's how they're able to come up with innovative solutions. But the official, if memory serves me right, kind of official definition of the role of systems engineering actually dates back to the early NASA days when trying to figure out how to build rockets and how to get to the moon. Simply because of the complexity of all the variables, and they said, well, we can't just try to build a rocket. We have to first think through what the rocket is supposed to do and how it may behave. And the evolution of systems engineering from the early 60s to today can be compared to the revolution of CAD tools, which typically engineers can relate to. If you reach back into early 70s, maybe early 80s, CAD technology was about what type of screen you're using, what's the resolution, a lot of tools that were completely disconnected. For example, in CAD solutions for electronics, you had schematic tools versus PCB layout tools, which didn't know how to talk to each other. So early CAD created a lot of islands of automation, which since 70s until now were connected very nicely. PLM played a critical role in enabling that connection. But systems engineering finds itself with its set of sophisticated tools today the way CAD was in the early 70 days. Very sophisticated, many tools. They don't talk to each other very well. They certainly don't connect to the rest of the organization. So it's a good phase to be in because it allows to architect the vision with how the infrastructure of managing these tools and information that these tools generate ought to be done. And there is it's pretty black and white that it requires rethinking of PLM, because PLM platform is not necessarily a place where everything resides, but PLM platform is where everything is connected regardless of where it resides. Which brings up one more very important point, and that is that traditional way of thinking about systems engineering is that it's a phase before everything else. And it's pretty much obvious by now that that's not the way it works anymore. Systems engineering is not a phase before. The systems engineering is a heart around which everything else is built. So it's not a phase, but it's more like a connective tissue through which all other engineering disciplines communicate regardless of the life cycle of the product itself. So systems engineering really plays a very central role in PLM as opposed to phase A, phase B, phase C. No, it's always there and it's right in the middle.